Hey guys, welcome back to the Shipmate YouTube channel. This week we're doing our final part on the history of U.S. mail, and thank you guys so much. We just hit 3,000 subscribers. So guys, for this last part of the history of U.S. mail, I want to talk about here and now. I want to talk about, what's going on today and what we see being continued trends into the future. So without further ado, it's hard to talk about today without mentioning Amazon. And, Amazon's been around since 1994. But in 2005, they did something that was a stroke of genius. They offered 2-day shipping for free if you signed up for what was known as Amazon Prime. Now, we're all familiar with Amazon Prime because it's been around for, over a decade now. But this was revolutionary at the time. Imagine, going from standard shipping and parcel select and, anywhere from 5 to 9 days to get a package. And all of a sudden, there's some magical guy on the internet telling you you can have whatever you want in 2 days. So this was huge. And in order to sustain this, they had to work with a lot of different carriers. They had to build a lot of facilities everywhere and really build up that network. And in 2015, almost exactly 10 years after the launch of Prime, Amazon did something bold. They decided that they wanted to become their own largest carrier. So they went out, they bought a bunch of Boeing jets, they went out and bought a bunch of trucks, they started building fulfillment centers at an even more rapid pace. And they started converting some of that volume away from the larger carriers. And as of 2019, Amazon is its own largest carrier, fulfilling packages for both, Amazon fulfillment centers, FBA customers, but they're also servicing some FBM merchants as well. So if you've ever seen an Amazon delivery van go down the road or whatever, they're emerging as one of the largest carriers, and they can rival even UPS or FedEx today. So what is the future for Amazon? Well, Amazon is talking about 1-day shipping. And since 2016, depending on where you live in the United States, you can have packages delivered to you same day. This is getting crazier and crazier as the number of areas where 1-day shipping is possible is expanding rapidly. You've also seen the large drone hives that Amazon has filed patents for. So it's just a matter of time till, packages are dropped on your doorstep by robots. So the future is really bright for Amazon and for the future of shipping. And they're going to really help push that pace and elevate all the other carriers like FedEx or UPS or DHL along with them in the name of competition. So I want to talk about regional carriers, especially because we're talking about the here and now. And regional carriers are playing a bigger role than ever. So now that people expect to get things quicker, faster, in shorter amounts of time, shipping is becoming more localized. There are smaller carriers popping up all over the country that do what's known as last mile delivery. With last mile delivery, 55% of shipping costs are actually incurred from taking the thing from a sorting facility to the door. It's not that long truck ride across half the country that costs the most money. It's that last couple miles of delivery. And because of this, a lot of local carriers that only work in a smaller geographic area, maybe 500 miles, are starting to emerge. And these companies are taking the shipping world by storm. And it's because, one, they're faster. But two, they can save a merchant a lot of money because they service these certain geographic areas. And because of that, they can price very competitively within their set market. Some of the biggest ones that you may have heard of are CDL, LSO, and CDS. These are some of the bigger regional carriers that, you might have seen an ad for on your computer at one time or whatever, depending on where you live. But there's also hundreds of smaller ones. And this is really the future as, people start moving into smaller and smaller markets and building more and more warehouses and touch points. As these logistics systems get more and more complex, you're going to see the smaller regional carriers begin to play a larger and larger role as they are really the future of shipping. Finally, I'd be amiss if I didn't talk about some of these delivery services, right? So we all know, like during the pandemic and things like that, DoorDash, Postmates, some of these places started delivering physical goods as well. And I think this is a really interesting area to look at, app-based delivery. So, maybe instead of getting a cheeseburger from an app, you could get, your goods from Walmart or your goods from CVS or PetSmart or whatever. I remember DoorDash powered by PetSmart was like a huge thing, and they kept on advertising it during the pandemic. And I think you're going to see more and more and more of this, where companies are going to start, using third-party apps and delivery services to deliver their own goods. And this is crazy because if you remember back to our video on UPS, this is coming full 360. Like, we're going from big nationalized carriers to small contractors working through an app. And this is really interesting because you see this not only with like food delivery apps and GoPuff and all these people that are starting to deliver physical product, but Amazon Flex, right? So these guys download an app and they pick your Amazon packages up and they deliver them to your doorstep, and they do it in their minivan. And they might even not even be wearing any Amazon clothes. Like, it's bizarre. But this is where we're heading. We're heading to like a third-party delivery service contracting out to a contractor via cell phone, and the gig economy really starting to play a role in short distance last mile delivery. So I think this is a really awesome thing, and I think this is really the future of where things are heading, because people want things fast, they want things cheap, and the best way to do that is, tip the pizza driver instead of paying, UPS or FedEx $10 to mail your package, 30 miles away to New Jersey. Like, it's people are going to get more and more creative with these solutions, and I'm really excited to see where the future goes, whether it's going to be more robotics, whether it's going to be, smaller and smaller carriers and contractors. And, this is really where the exciting stuff is happening right now in mail. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe. We might have just hit 3,000, but we're not satisfied. We want to get to 5,000. So if you don't mind, share us with your friends and family. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week.